with cobblestones that still remembered rain. A bookshop kept its shutters open wide, and paperbacks were dreaming in the lane. The cat on number 12 looked down at us as if he'd seen 1,000 springs roll by. He stretched one paw and then withdrew it slow, and gave the world a long approving eye. You stopped to read the titles in the bin, one finger trailing down a worn-out spine. The cat descended 4 steps to your feet, as if responding to some quiet sign. He pressed his orange forehead to your hand and purred in that complete and certain way that cats reserve for those they've chosen well among the thousands passing every day. The cat on Rue de Fleurus closed his eyes and leaned into your hand like morning leaned on skies. I never thought approval meant so much until I saw you earn it with a single touch. You laughed and he accepted every sound, as if your joy was something he had long foreseen. And even the tulips in the iron pot were leaning toward you, tender, lush, and green. We walked until the street became a square where daisies grew between the fountain stones. A jazz band set their cases on the steps and tuned in lazy, sun-warmed, gentle tones. I bought you one white daisy from a girl who sold them from a basket lined with lace. You put it in your hair above your ear, and the whole square rearranged its common face. The cat went back and curled upon his sill and watched us go the way all good things do, with that same settled knowing in his eyes that what was beautiful had just passed through. The cat on Rue de Fleurus closed his eyes and leaned into your hand like morning leaned on skies. I never thought approval meant so much until I saw you earn it with a single touch. You laughed and he accepted every sound, as if your joy was something he had long foreseen. And even the tulips in the iron pot were leaning toward you, tender, lush, and green. The orange cat still sits there in my mind, beside the door where all the best things find. The river wore a coat of morning green, and tulips lined the stalls along the quay. A painter hummed while setting up his frame to catch the light before it slipped away. The Seine was full of sky and drifting blooms that no one seemed to mind had lost their tree. Then you appeared in lemon and in white, and all that restless water followed thee. You leaned above the railing looking down as petals circled softly past your shoes. A tabby cat came nosing at your hem, the color of old honey, brass and bruise. He circled twice and settled at your feet as if he'd recognized someone from home. I stood beside the bookseller's green stall and felt less like a stranger left to roam. April on the Seine, soft and white, carrying the blossom like a tender tide. I never thought a river could look kind until it caught your shadow and declined to mind. You turned and smiled, and suddenly the bridge felt like the beginning, not the middle of things. And even the old barge forgot to go. It drifted near your laughter on its silver wings. A little girl was feeding crumbs to birds. They scattered up like confetti in the breeze. Two old men played chess beneath the elm while daisy chains were nodding in the leaves. I wanted to say something bright and true, the way a song says everything at once. But all I had were quiet steps beside you, and April's warm conspiracy of months. If this is how the world begins to bloom, then let me stand here just a little along the river, and the railing and your sleeve, the barge, the birds, and you along the song. April on the Seine, soft and white, carrying the blossom like a tender tide. I never thought a river could look kind until it caught your shadow and declined to mind. You turned and smiled, and suddenly the bridge felt like the beginning, not the middle of things. And even the old barge forgot to go. It drifted near your laughter on its silver wings. The Seine still hums your name below, wherever April's tender waters go. corner cafe opened up at 9, and someone put fresh tulips in a glass, red, violet, and a creamy white that caught the light as every patron passed. The waiter set 2 cups without being asked, as if the morning knew what we would need. The street was soft with bicycle and leaf, and April moved at its unhurried speed. You warmed your hands around the porcelain and smiled at something written in the grain. A sparrow hopped between the wicker chairs and seemed to think that this was its domain. The tulips leaned together in their jar like women sharing secrets over tea. I watched you turn a sugar cube and pause, and something in that moment finished me. Tulips at the corner cafe, bright and still, leaning toward the morning like they always will. I never knew a color could be warm until I saw your face beside the red and warm. You set your cup down gently on the cloth, and the whole cafe breathed in and held its place. And even the sparrow stayed a little long, pretending it had business near your face. The jazz came down the stairway like a friend. Old standards played on somebody's old horn. A couple at the next table held hands, as if they'd only just that moment sworn. I thought of all the Aprils I had passed through other cities, other cups of gold, and how they all were merely preparation for sitting here with you against the cold. Keep this morning somewhere you can find, behind the door where ordinary things glow bright. The tulips and the sparrow and the spoon, the jazz, the sugar, and your laughing light. Tulips at the corner cafe, bright and still, leaning toward the morning like they always will. I never knew a color could be warm until I saw your face beside the red and warm. You set your cup down gently on the cloth, and the whole cafe breathed in and held its place. And even the sparrow stayed a little long, pretending it had business near your face. Red tulips in the window light, I'll always know that this is where love arrives. Flower market open bright and wide, with armfuls of the season laid in rows. Peonies and lilac, jonquils in a heap, and daisies white as everything that glows. A woman tied her bundles up with twine, and sang a song too faint to hear the words. The whole block smelled of green and growing things, and April was as busy as its birds. You picked a single daisy from the bin and turned it in the light to find it true. Then tucked it in my buttonhole and laughed as if you'd always known just what to do. The vendor nodded with a knowing smile. The pigeons scattered up in small applause. A tabby watched from underneath the stall without much interest and without much cause. Daisy in my buttonhole, white and plain, the simplest thing, and yet I can't explain how one small flower placed by careful hands could make the whole of April understand. You stepped back once to judge your work and smiled, and I became the luckiest man in France. The pigeons settled, the vendor turned away, and left us in our small and ordinary trance. We found a cafe 2 streets from the Seine and sat beneath the chestnut's early green. The waiter brought us each a demi-tasse, the finest and the smallest cups I'd seen. A jazz trio was playing on the terrace, old songs that someone's mother used to know. And you were humming just a half a bar in time with all that lovely long ago. A daisy doesn't last beyond a day, but what it meant will not so quickly go. The buttonhole, the laugh, the vendor's nod, the pigeons and your hands in morning's glow. Daisy in my buttonhole, white and plain, the simplest thing, and yet I can't explain how one small flower placed by careful hands could make the whole of April understand. You stepped back once to judge your work and smiled, and I became the luckiest man in France. The pigeons settled, the vendor turned away, and left us in our small and ordinary trance. The daisy's gone, but in its place remains the shape of how your fingers touched my name. The evening came in slowly, street by street, and lampposts woke in amber one by one. The cafe tables held their final drinks long after we had counted out the sun. Somewhere above, a window had been left open to the music and the night, and someone's piano fell across the lane in soft and melting columns of lamplight. You stopped and looked up toward the lighted square where curtains breathed above the cobblestone. A calico cat crossed from shade to light and paused to listen to before moving on. The tune was slow, the kind that asks no questions, just settles like a hand upon your shoulder. And April's leaves were dark against the sky, and the night was warm, but somehow making us bolder. Jazz from the open window, low and long, spilling down the laneway like a patient song. I never thought that music could be light until it fell on you and made you bright. You tilted up your chin to catch the notes, the way a flower tilts toward what it knows. And even the cat turned once before it left, as if it too felt something as it goes. We stood there till the peace resolved and stilled, and left us in the after quiet air. And someone in the window reached and pulled the shutter softly shut without a care. But we remained a moment longer there beneath the lamp beside the evening street, and all the things we hadn't said aloud were close enough to feel too close to meet. If love is something learned from how things sound, then that piano taught me more than speech. The window and the curtain and the tune, and you just barely standing within reach. Jazz from the open window, low and long, spilling down the laneway like a patient song. I never thought that music could be light until it fell on you and made you bright. You tilted up your chin to catch the notes, the way a flower tilts toward what it knows. And even the cat turned once before it left, as if it too felt something as it goes. The window closed, the music finally done, but something played between us just begun. The left bank in the morning smelled of ink and chestnut in the river after rain. The bookstalls opened up their emerald wings, and scholars came to browse the old refrain. A cat slept on a stack of paperbacks, too warm to mind the turning of a page, and cherry blossoms drifted to the stones like letters sent from some departing age. You found a little volume, red and old, with gilded letters half worn from the spine. You read aloud a passage just for me, in that half-laughing voice of yours like wine. The bookseller looked over with a grin, as if he recognized a rare event, that someone still could read and laugh and glow among the quiet stalls where decades went. Your laughter on the left bank rang so clear, it startled pigeons off the rails in sheer delight and fear. I never knew a sound could fill a street until you laughed and made it all complete. The bookseller applauded with one hand. The cat woke up and blinked and went back down. And even the Seine seemed briefly to reply, in ripples as the laughter crossed the town. We walked along the wall past bouquinist, past tulips sold in paper twists of red. A cafe hoisted its first awning out, and jazz came drifting down like something said. I bought the little red book from the man who wrapped it carefully in brown and tied, and handed it to you with string and care, as if it were a secret I'd provide. Your laughter is the thing I'll keep in glass, above the books, the cave, the blossom scattered stone. The left bank heard it, turned and smiled along. The Seine repeated it all the way home. Your laughter on the left bank rang so clear, it startled pigeons off the rails in sheer delight and fear. I never knew a sound could fill a street until you laughed and made it all complete. The bookseller applauded with one hand. The cat woke up and blinked and went back down. And even the Seine seemed briefly to reply, in ripples as the laughter crossed the town. Somewhere the red book still carries your name, between the lines, between the laugh, the same. The trees of Luxembourg put on their green. The kind so fresh it almost hurts to see. And children sailed their boats across the pond, while pigeons kept their slow diplomacy. The gardeners were raking last night's dreams from paths that curved between the tulip rows. And all the April light was thin and gold, the way it falls before the full warmth grows. You sat beside the iron-railed fountain, with your coat still buttoned to the throat. A daisy you had found along the path was twirling slowly from your gloved hand's note. A tabby crossed the lawn with royal ease and settled near the fountain's mossy base. And everything was part of one still scene that even time was careful not to erase. Green April morning, still and breathing wide, with everything just opening inside. I never knew that green could feel like faith until the trees put on their finest shade. You let the daisy fall into the pool. It floated like a thought too light to sink, and even the sparrows paused along the rim to stand beside the moment at the brink. We followed paths between the chestnut trees, past couples reading and a man asleep, past students sharing something from a bag, and a cat who had appointments she must keep. The trumpet of a busker came and went somewhere beyond the gate and iron fence, and April just kept giving without asking, the morning full of everything that's meant. A green that young cannot stay very long, it deepens into summer, into shade. But this one April morning full of light is saved exactly as the heart has made. Green April morning, still and breathing wide, with everything just opening inside. I never knew that green could feel like faith until the trees put on their finest shade. You let the daisy fall into the pool. It floated like a thought too light to sink, and even the sparrows paused along the rim to stand beside the moment at the brink. The pool still holds the daisy in my mind. Green April mornings are the rarest kind. The island in the river has one street that runs the length of its unhurried life, with cheese shops and a florist at the end, who cuts her blooms with an unhurried knife. She had arranged the tulips in a barrel and daisies in a zinc pail near the door, and cherry blossoms in a tall glass jar that someone must have traveled far to pour. You stood before the cherry blossoms long, your face composed in something close to prayer. The florist watched, and then without a word, she cut one stem and set it in your hair. You looked so startled and so quietly pleased. You thanked her twice and touched the petals soft. She waved it off and said in simple French that beauty ought to always be aloft. The florist on Île Saint-Louis knew best. She placed the blossom where it fit the rest. I never thought that one small branch could change the way an afternoon arranges its range. You stood there with the cherry in your hair, and the Seine went quiet on both its sides, and even the wisteria overhead let down a petal or two for the ride. We bought a bunch of daisies for the room, wrapped them in the paper she preferred. A cat emerged from underneath the counter and supervised the wrapping undeterred. The island smelled of river and of lilac, of bread from somewhere warm and out of sight. And all the April sounds were very gentle, as if the whole world knew to keep things alight. The florist on the island has no sign. She needs no advertisement for what's true, that flowers placed with care and knowing hands are only ever placed for someone like you. The florist on Île Saint-Louis knew best. She placed the blossom where it fit the rest. I never thought that one small branch could change the way an afternoon arranges its range. You stood there with a cherry in your hair, and the Seine went quiet on both its sides, and even the wisteria overhead let down a petal or two for the ride. The blossom in your hair, the island air, florist at her door beyond compare. Cafe lights warming up one by one, piano eases in low and golden. Montparnasse in April wears it well. Montparnasse in April wears it well. That mix of old ambition and cafe. The lights go on at 4 when clouds arrive and make the whole street feel like yesterday. The terraces have set their wicker chairs, and someone's left a novel on the seat. The ginger cat surveys the scene from high, above the door on number 23's neat. We took the table nearest to the street and watched the April foot traffic go by. A woman in a yellow coat and gloves, a man consulting skies with practiced eye. The waiter brought us wine without delay, as if he'd known our order from the start. And blossom fell from somewhere out of sight and landed right between us like an art. A blossom fell on Montparnasse today, between our glasses, pink and curved and fade. I never thought that falling things could land so purposefully close within my hand. You picked it up and held it to the light and smiled as if it said the thing I meant. And even the waiter paused his silver tray, as if he too was glad for what it meant. The jazz club 2 doors down began to sound, a bass line walking out beneath the door, and daisies in the window box above were nodding as they'd nodded long before. I thought of all the things that fall and find the exact right place among the afternoon, and how that single blossom between us was more than lucky, it was like a tune. Keep the blossom pressed between 2 pages of the book you were not reading in the light. Montparnasse, the wine, the wicker chair, the pink between us on that April night. A blossom fell on Montparnasse today, between our glasses, pink and curved and fade. I never thought that falling things could land so purposefully close within my hand. You picked it up and held it to the light and smiled as if it said the thing I meant. And even the waiter paused his silver tray, as if he too was glad for what it meant. The blossom kept its pink a little while, then faded like an April afternoon's last smile. April ends, it goes the way things do, with less announcement than you might expect. The tulips at the market thin and go, and chestnut blooms fall into disrespect. But something of the season stays behind, in doorways and in certain slants of light. The way a song stays long after it's done, still humming in the ear at fall of night. We walked the rue once more before you left, past the cat who knew us by our step, past the florist tying up her last bouquet, past the cafe still in April's debt. You touched the iron railing at the bridge, the one above the spot where blossoms fell, and said you thought that Paris held its breath whenever something beautiful befell. Paris keeps your name in every stone, in every cat that watches, and in every cobble known. I never thought a city could remember, until I saw it hold you like a tender ember. You smiled once more above the evening Seine, and all the lampposts woke a little bright, and even the river below the oldest bridge carried your reflection into night. A daisy left behind beside the cup, a blossom pressed inside a left-behind book, a jazz standard played from somewhere down the block, the ginger cat who gave you one last look. These are the things the city filed away in its vast and unsentimental heart. It keeps the beautiful without a fuss, then hands it back to everyone apart. So go and let the April follow you across whatever distance spring can cross. Paris will keep the table and the chair, and wait as if it doesn't know you're lost. Paris keeps your name in every stone, in every cat that watches, and in every cobble known. I never thought a city could remember, until I saw it hold you like a tender ember. You smiled once more above the evening Seine, and all the lampposts woke a little bright, and even the river below the oldest bridge carried your reflection into night. The city hums your name when no one's near. April returns each year to keep you here. The rue was barely wider than a sigh, with cobblestones that still remembered rain. A bookshop kept its shutters open wide, and paperbacks were dreaming in the lane. The cat on number 12 looked down at us as if he'd seen 1,000 springs roll by. He stretched one paw and then withdrew it slow, and gave the world a long approving eye. You stopped to read the titles in the bin, one finger trailing down a worn-out spine. The cat descended 4 steps to your feet, as if responding to some quiet sign. He pressed his orange forehead to your hand and purred in that complete and certain way that cats reserve for those they've chosen well, among the thousands passing every day. The cat on Rue de Fleurus closed his eyes and leaned into your hand like morning leaned on skies. I never thought approval meant so much until I saw you earn it with a single touch. You laughed and he accepted every sound, as if your joy was something he had long foreseen. And even the tulips in the iron pot were leaning toward you, tender, lush, and green. We walked until the street became a square, where daisies grew between the fountain stones. A jazz band set their cases on the steps and tuned in lazy sun-warmed gentle tones. I bought you one white daisy from a girl who sold them from a basket lined with lace. You put it in your hair above your ear, and the whole square rearranged its common face. The cat went back and curled upon his sill and watched us go the way all good things do, with that same settled knowing in his eyes that what was beautiful had just passed through. the cat on Rue de Fleurus closed his eyes and leaned into your hand like morning leaned on skies. I never thought approval meant so much until I saw you earn it with a single touch. You laughed and he accepted every sound, as if your joy was something he had long foreseen. And even the tulips in the iron pot were leaning toward you, tender, lush, and green. The orange cat still sits there in my mind, beside the door where all the best things find. The river wore a coat of morning green, and tulips lined the stalls along the quay. A painter hummed while setting up his frame to catch the light before it slipped away. The Seine was full of sky and drifting blooms that no one seemed to mind had lost their tree. Then you appeared in lemon and in white, and all that restless water followed thee. You leaned above the railing, looking down as petals circled softly past your shoes. A tabby cat came nosing at your hem, the color of old honey, brass and bruise. He circled twice and settled at your feet, as if he'd recognized someone from home. I stood beside the bookseller's green stall and felt less like a stranger left to roam. April on the Seine, soft and wide, carrying the blossom like a tender tide. I never thought a river could look kind until it caught your shadow and declined to mind. You turned and smiled, and suddenly the bridge felt like the beginning, not the middle of things. And even the old barge forgot to go. It drifted near your laughter on its silver wings. A little girl was feeding crumbs to birds. They scattered up like confetti in the breeze. Two old men played chess beneath the elm, while daisy chains were nodding in the leaves. I wanted to say something bright and true, the way a song says everything at once. But all I had were quiet steps beside you, and April's warm conspiracy of months. If this is how the world begins to bloom, then let me stand here just a little long, river and the railing and your sleeve, the barge, the birds, and you along the song. April on the Seine, soft and wide, carrying the blossom like a tender tide. I never thought a river could look kind until it caught your shadow and declined to mind. You turned and smiled, and suddenly the bridge felt like the beginning, not the middle of things. And even the old barge forgot to go. It drifted near your laughter on its silver wings. The Seine still hums your name below, wherever April's tender waters go. The corner cafe opened up at 9, and someone put fresh tulips in a glass. Red violet and a creamy white that caught the light as every patron passed. The waiter set 2 cups without being asked, as if the morning knew what we would need. The street was soft with bicycle and leaf, and April moved at its unhurried speed. You warmed your hands around the porcelain and smiled at something written in the grain. A sparrow hopped between the wicker chairs and seemed to think that this was its domain. The tulips leaned together in their jar like women sharing secrets over tea. I watched you turn a sugar cube and pause, and something in that moment finished me. Tulips at the corner cafe, bright and still, leaning toward the morning like they always will. I never knew a color could be warm until I saw your face beside the red and warm. You set your cup down gently on the cloth, and the whole cafe breathed in and held its place. And even the sparrow stayed a little long, pretending it had business near your face. The jazz came down the stairway like a friend. Old standards played on somebody's old horn. A couple at the next table held hands as if they'd only just that moment sworn. I thought of all the Aprils I had passed through other cities, other cups of gold, and how they all were merely preparation for sitting here with you against the cold. Keep this morning somewhere you can find, behind the door where ordinary things glow bright. The tulips and the sparrow and the spoon, the jazz, the sugar, and your laughing light. tulips at the corner cafe, bright and still, leaning toward the morning like they always will. I never knew a color could be warm until I saw your face beside the red and warm. You set your cup down gently on the cloth, and the whole cafe breathed in and held its place. And even the sparrow stayed a little long, pretending it had business near your face. Red tulips in the window light, I'll always know that this is where love arrived. The rue was barely wider than a sigh, with cobblestones that still remembered rain. A bookshop kept its shutters open wide, and paperbacks were dreaming in the lane. The cat on number 12 looked down at us as if he'd seen 1,000 springs roll by. He stretched one paw and then withdrew it slow, and gave the world a long approving eye. You stopped to read the titles in the bin, one finger trailing down a worn-out spine. The cat descended 4 steps to your feet, as if responding to some quiet sign. He pressed his orange forehead to your hand and purred in that complete and certain way that cats reserve for those they've chosen well, among the thousands passing every day. The cat on Rue de Fleurus closed his eyes and leaned into your hand like morning leaned on skies. I never thought approval meant so much until I saw you earn it with a single touch. You laughed and he accepted every sound, as if your joy was something he had long foreseen. And even the tulips in the iron pot were leaning toward you, tender, lush, and green. We walked until the street became a square, where daisies grew between the fountain stones. A jazz band set their cases on the steps and tuned in lazy sun-warmed gentle tones. I bought you one white daisy from a girl who sold them from a basket lined with lace. You put it in your hair above your ear, and the whole square rearranged its common face. The cat went back and curled upon his sill and watched us go the way all good things do, with that same settled knowing in his eyes that what was beautiful had just passed through. The cat on Rue de Fleurus closed his eyes and leaned into your hand like morning leaned on skies. I never thought approval meant so much until I saw you earn it with a single touch. You laughed and he accepted every sound, as if your joy was something he had long foreseen. And even the tulips in the iron pot were leaning toward you, tender, lush, and green. The orange cat still sits there in my mind, beside the door where all the best things find. The flower market open bright and wide, with armfuls of the season laid in rows, peonies and lilac jonquils in a heap, and daisies white as everything that glows. A woman tied her bundles up with twine and sang a song too faint to hear the words. The whole block smelled of green and growing things, and April was as busy as its birds. You picked a single daisy from the bin and turned it in the light to find it true, then tucked it in my buttonhole and laughed as if you'd always known just what to do. The vendor nodded with a knowing smile. The pigeons scattered up in small applause. A tabby watched from underneath the stall, without much interest and without much cause. Daisy in my buttonhole, white and plain, the simplest thing, and yet I can't explain how one small flower placed by careful hands could make the whole of April understand. You stepped back once to judge your work and smiled, and I became the luckiest man in France. The pigeons settled, the vendor turned away and left us in our small and ordinary trance. We found a cafe 2 streets from the Seine and sat beneath the chestnuts early green. The waiter brought us each a demi-tasse, the finest and the smallest cups I'd seen. A jazz trio was playing on the terrace, old songs that someone's mother used to know. were humming just a half a bar in time with all that lovely long ago. A daisy doesn't last beyond a day, but what it meant will not so quickly go. The buttonhole, the laugh, the vendor's nod, the pigeons and your hands in morning's glow. Daisy in my buttonhole, white and plain, the simplest thing, and yet I can't explain how one small flower placed by careful hands could make the whole of April understand. You step back once to judge your work and smiled, and I became the luckiest man in France. The pigeons settled, the vendor turned away, left us in our small and ordinary trance. The daisy's gone, but in its place remains the shape of how your fingers touched my name. Came in slowly, street by street, and lampposts woke in amber one by one. The cafe tables held their final drinks long after we had counted out the sun. Somewhere above a window had been left open to the music and the night. And someone's piano fell across the lane in soft and melting columns of lamplight. You stopped and looked up toward the lighted square where curtains breathed above the cobblestone. A calico cat crossed from shade to light and paused to listen to before moving on. The tune was slow, the kind that asks no questions, just settles like a hand upon your shoulder. And April's leaves were dark against the sky, and the night was warm, but somehow making us bolder. Jazz from the open window, low and long, spilling down the laneway like a patient song. I never thought that music could be light until it fell on you and made you bright. You tilted up your chin to catch the notes, the way a flower tilts toward what it knows. And even the cat turned once before it left, as if it too felt something as it goes. We stood there till the peace resolved and stilled, and left us in the after quiet air. Then someone in the window reached and pulled the shutter softly shut without a care. But we remained a moment longer there, beneath the lamp beside the evening street. And all the things we hadn't said aloud were close enough to feel too close to meet. Love is something learned from how things sound. Then that piano taught me more than speech. The window and the curtain and the tune, and you just barely standing within reach. Jazz from the open window, low and long, spilling down the laneway like a patient song. I never thought that music could be light until it fell on you and made you bright. You tilted up your chin to catch the notes, the way a flower tilts toward what it knows. And even the cat turned once before it left, as if it too felt something as it goes. The window closed, the music finally done, but something played between us, just begun. Bank in the morning smelled of ink and chestnut and the river after rain. The bookstalls opened up their emerald wings, and scholars came to browse the old refrain. A cat slept on a stack of paperbacks, too warm to mind the turning of a page. And cherry blossoms drifted to the stones like letters sent from some departing age. You found a little volume, red and old, with gilded letters half worn from the spine. You read aloud a passage just for me, in that half-laughing voice of yours like wine. The bookseller looked over with a grin, as if he recognized a rare event, that someone still could read and laugh and glow among the quiet stalls where decades went. Your laughter on the left bank rang so clear, it startled pigeons off the rails in sheer delight and fear. I never knew a sound could fill a street until you laughed and made it all complete. The bookseller applauded with one hand. The cat woke up and blinked and went back down, and even the same seemed briefly to reply in ripples as the laughter crossed the town. We walked along the wall, past bikini stays, past tulips sold in paper twists of red. A cafe hoisted its first awning out, and jazz came drifting down like something said. I bought the little red book from the man who wrapped it carefully in brown and tied, and handed it to you with string care, as if it were a secret I'd provide. Your laughter is the thing I'll keep in glass, above the books, the K, the blossom, scattered stone. The left bank heard it turn and smiled along. The Seine repeated it all the way home. Your laughter on the left left bank rang so clear, it startled pigeons off the rails in sheer delight and fear. I never knew a sound could fill a street until you laughed and made it all complete. The bookseller applauded with one hand. The cat woke up and blinked and went back down. And even the Seine seemed briefly to reply in ripples as the laughter crossed the town. Somewhere the red book still carries your name. Between the lines, between the laugh, the same. The trees of Luxembourg put on their green, the kind so fresh it almost hurts to see. And children sailed their boats across the pond while pigeons kept their slow diplomacy. Gardeners were raking last night's dreams from paths that curved between the tulip rows. And all the April light was thin and gold, the way it falls before the full warmth grows. You sat beside the iron-railed fountain with your coat still buttoned to the throat. A daisy you had found along the path was twirling slowly from your gloved hand's note. A tabby crossed the lawn with royal ease and settled near the fountain's mossy base. And everything was part of one still scene that even time was careful not to erase. Green April morning, still and breathing wide, with everything just opening inside. I never knew that green could feel like faith until the trees put on their finest shade. You let the daisy fall into the pool. It floated like a thought too light to sink, and even the sparrows paused along the rim to stand beside the moment at the brink. We followed paths between the chestnut trees, past couples reading and a man asleep, past students sharing something from a bag, and a cat who had appointments she must keep. The trumpet of a busker came and went somewhere beyond the gate and iron fence, and April just kept giving without asking, the morning full of everything that's meant. A green that young cannot stay very long, it deepens into summer, into shade. But this one April morning full of light is saved exactly as the heart has made. Green April morning, still and breathing wide, just opening inside. I never knew that green could feel like faith until the trees put on their finest shade. You let the daisy fall into the pool. It floated like a thought too light to sink, and even the sparrows paused along the rim to stand beside the moment at the brink. The pool still holds the daisy in my mind. Green April mornings are the rarest kind. The island in the river has one street that runs the length of its unhurried life, with cheese shops and a florist at the end who cuts her blooms with an unhurried knife. She had arranged the tulips in a barrel and daisies in a zinc pail near the door, and cherry blossoms in a tall glass jar that someone must have traveled far to pour. You stood before the cherry blossoms long, your face composed in something close to prayer. The florist watched, and then without a word, she cut one stem and set it in your hair. You looked so startled and so quietly pleased. You thanked her twice and touched the petals soft. She waved it off and said in simple French that beauty ought to always be aloft. The florist on Île Saint-Louis knew best. She placed the blossom where it fit the rest. I never thought that one small branch could change the way an afternoon arranges its range. You stood there with the cherry in your hair, and the Seine went quiet on both its sides, and even the wisteria overhead let down a petal or two for the ride. We bought a bunch of daisies for the room and wrapped them in the paper she preferred. A cat emerged from underneath the counter and supervised the wrapping undeterred. The island smelled of river and of lilac, of bread from somewhere warm and out of sight. And all the April sounds were very gentle, as if the whole world knew to keep things light. The florist on the island has no sign. She needs no advertisement for what's true, that flowers placed with care and knowing hands are only ever placed for someone like you. The florist on Île Saint-Louis knew best. She placed the blossom where it fit the rest. I never thought that one small branch inch could change the way an afternoon arranges its range. You stood there with the cherry in your hair, and the Seine went quiet on both its sides. And even the wisteria overhead let down a petal or two for the ride. The blossom in your hair, the island air, the florist at her door beyond compare. Café lights warming up one by one, piano eases in low and golden uprights. Montparnasse in April wears it well, that mix of old ambition and café. Lights go on at 4 when clouds arrive, and make the whole street feel like yesterday. The terraces have set their wicker chairs, and someone's left a novel on the seat. A ginger cat surveys the scene from high, above the door on number 23's neat. We took the table nearest to the street and watched the April foot traffic go by. A woman in a yellow coat and gloves, a man consulting skies with practiced eye. The waiter brought us wine without delay, as if he'd known our order from the start. Blossom fell from somewhere out of sight and landed right between us like an art. A blossom fell on Montparnasse today, between our glasses, pink and curved and fade. I never thought that falling things could land so purposefully close within my hand. You picked it up and held it to the light, and smiled as if it said the thing I meant. And even the waiter paused his silver tray, as if he too was glad for what it meant. The jazz club 2 doors down began to sound, a bass line walking out beneath the door, and daisies in the window box above were nodding as they'd nodded long before. Thought of all the things that fall and find the exact right place among the afternoon, and how that single blossom between us was more than lucky, it was like a tune. keep the blossom pressed between two pages of the book you were not reading in the light. Montparnasse, the wine, the wicker chair, the pink between us on that April night. A blossom fell on Montparnasse today, between our glasses, pink and curved and fade. I never thought that falling things could land so purposefully close within my hand. You picked it up and held it to the light, and smiled as if it said the thing I meant. And even the waiter paused his silver tray, as if he too was glad for what it meant. The blossom kept its pink a little while, then faded like an April afternoon's last smile. When April ends, it goes the way things do, with less announcement than you might expect. The tulips at the market thin and go, and chestnut blooms fall into disrespect. But something of the season stays behind, in doorways and in certain slants of light. The way a song stays long after it's done, still humming in the ear at fall of night. We walked the rue once more before you left, past the cat who knew us by our step, past the florist tying up her last bouquet, past the cafe still in April's debt. You touched the iron railing at the bridge, the one above the spot where blossoms fell, and said you thought that Paris held its breath whenever something beautiful befell. Paris keeps your name in every stone, in every cat that watches, and in every cobblestones. I never thought a city could remember, until I saw it hold you like a tender ember. You smiled once more above the evening Seine, and all the lampposts woke a little bright, and even the river below the oldest bridge carried your reflection into night. A daisy left behind beside the cup, a blossom pressed inside a left behind book, a jazz standard played from somewhere down the block, the ginger cat who gave you one last look. These are the things the city filed away in its vast and unsentimental heart. It keeps the beautiful without a fuss, and hands it back to everyone apart. So go and let the April follow you across whatever distance spring can cross. kiss will keep the table and the chair, and wait as if it doesn't know you're lost. Paris keeps your name in every stone, in every cat that watches, and in every cobblestone. I never thought a city could remember until I saw it hold you like a tender ember. You smiled once more above the evening Seine, and all the lampposts woke a little bright, and even the river below the oldest bridge carried your reflection into night. The city hums your name when no one's near. April returns each year to keep you here.